know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Night of the Living Dead.
I was just gonna say, dude, I have little fun fact. I want to pop off real quick for this movie because it's in my head right now, and if I don't say it now, I'm gonna forget about it. But this movie, Tetsuo, is a trilogy, and the third one was scored by Trent Reznor.
Oh yeah,
Wild. Which
That's
one
cool.
of you horny bastards put this movie on the list?
I did.
Dale.
Dale.
This movie was wild. Should we get started?
Movie was fucking. It was a movie, dude.
Saya's gonna
was-
have the highest score. I was like, this is a mad Saya movie right here.
I was touching myself the whole time.
All right, guys. With that, let's get started. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. This week, we are covering yet another Japanese film. This time, we are covering a straight-to-home video body horror cult classic, Tetsuo the Iron Man. As always, I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Hello.
and Twan.
Arigato.
So, a quick reminder, we are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B movies, and horror. All of these opinions are subjective. None of us are academically trained in film critique, but we love movies and enjoy the ride. All right, Tetsuo the Iron Man. So, I put this movie on the list because it took
Because
me
you're
forever
horny.
to find the list because fucking IGN ranked it the number one body horror movie of all time over Videodrome and like the Cronenberg's The Fly and all these fucking movies. So I was like, oh shit, this movie must be good if it's ranked higher than these. I don't think it's better than those movies, but this movie was a fucking crazy trip.
It was a ride for sure. I think
Yeah.
It was a ride.
think this was better than the MCU version of Iron Man.
I think this movie was better than Pulse.
It was better than Iron Man 3 and
Oh, it's
Iron Man
definitely better
2.
than-
Ooh.
The Iron Man 3 and 2 for sure. I don't
Yeah.
know about 1 though. 1 was pretty good.
One was like
one was-
iconic.
yeah.
And it was an actual Iron Man suit. I think the other ones are like nano machines, so they're technically not iron anymore.
Is this movie better than The Man in the Iron Mask?
Oh no,
Mm,
I think that movie was really good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
movie. Sneaky
That's a
Three
good movie.
Musketeers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah,
I have
fucking-
to rewatch
Yeah.
it.
D'Artagnan's in it. They're like literally the Three Musketeers. They're like the
Mhm.
king's
Oh,
like
that's right.
guardsmen. They like rescue the man in the Iron Mask.
Ah,
It's
I
a
just-
low-key sequel to the
wait.
Three
Is that
Musketeers.
that's Leo, right? Leo's in it?
Yeah, young Leo.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the man,
He plays two
The man.
people because he's also the king.
the king. Yeah.
Prince. Yeah, the king. Young Leo. It's when he was hot in the streets, his Titanic days. That we haven't had in a minute. So this is a directorial debut.
Oh,
yeah.
snap. Almost forgot we were a directorial debut podcast.
We haven't had one in a minute. But it was directed by Shinya Tsukamoto. And I haven't seen any of his other movies, but he's also an actor. So
Nice. You know what this movie can be classified as?
Hmm.
A superhero movie.
it might be.
That's why I said yeah, MCU version like this. It's
Oh, yeah.
he is technically superhero.
Kind of.
I feel like this is
The
like a
ending's a little weird.
origin story to a Godzilla monster.
Hmm.
Dude, it totally felt like I'm like, this is a fucking kaiju fight at the end? Like, what is happening? Like, this shit got like real Japanese at the end.
It did.
Shinya also wrote the movie, and the music was done by Chu Ishikawa. I thought the music in this movie was like really fucking cool.
Hmm.
That do. I was like, oh shit, this is looking creepy. Sounds like
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah. It's very industrial.
It sounded like steel wool, like scraping against like a fucking pan or some shit.
Hmm.
There's a lot of icky sounds in this movie.
Mhm.
It kind of low key gave me like Eraserhead vibes.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it did.
I was like,
This
dude,
was
shit-
Japanese David Lynch. written
Does it
all
kind of
over it.
felt like it.
Oh damn! Do we
A
find
little
him?
easier to follow, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Very similar. I think the director said that that this movie and I think he said Eraserhead and like Videodrome are like the two parents of this movie or something like that.
I haven't seen Videodrome.
Haven't
I
either.
don't think I've seen that one either. Oh no, he said Blade Runner and Videodrome are the two parents of this movie, which is interesting because this movie has been classified as like cyberpunk, but I don't think it's very cyberpunky.
I could see it. I think like the ending, because it is really like, I think technology heavy. What I got from the movie was like a fear of technology and like what that's gonna do. And so I can kind of see that, but also I might just be reading it weird because I didn't like look up anything about the movie after. I just saw it and I had to like sit for a little bit to contemplate what I just witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
It might change as we go through this. This is gonna be one of those conversations where I have to talk about the movie to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah, this movie is it's only an hour and 6 minutes, but a lot. There's a lot happens in this hour and 6 minutes.
A lot, so much happens.
For real.
It flies by.
It does. It's like it's crazy. So our cast and crew, I will try my best to get all these names right.
You got it.
So
You've
we
been
got
doing it for the last month.
I know, right? Practicing up. Got the metal fetishist, who was played by Shinya Tsukamoto himself. He's also he was in Silence. I think that's the most like recent big budget movie. I don't know if you guys remember Silence. What about those two priests who go to Japan? It stars Andrew Garfield and
Adam Driver?
Yeah, and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
He was in that movie.
Okay.
And he was also in Ichi the Killer, which I think is a movie we should throw on the list, but I'll wait because we've been getting a lot of like Japanese films. I heard that movie
Just
rocks.
I
fucking
thought we
throw
did.
it on.
I thought we did have it on.
Did we throw it on?
Damn.
I have the
feel like-
will
I don't
pulled
know.
up.
We gotta-
I feel like that was one of the ones that I also saw. It was like Ichi the Killer and Pulse that were.
You gotta fucking check. Gotta check,
No, we
or else
don't.
you're gonna fuck up
check
like
it
me.
out,
Oh,
check it
don't
out.
have it.
Shit.
I don't have it.
Add that one and add Tetsuo fucking Hammerman and Tetsuo Blood Man.
Please.
Bullet Man.
Do you really want to put the sequels on?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
All right, I'll put the second one, and then I don't want to get 3 before we get 2.
Yeah, that makes I like your thinking.
Tetsuo
Mr. fucking
2,
Like Gremlins.
Masters in history over
Like
here.
Gremlin 2.
No,
Killer.
it was Troll.
Troll.
Yeah, it was Troll 2.
Troll
Troll
2.
It was
2.
Troll 2.
And you guys are like, wait, don't we have to watch Troll 1? But it's an anthology story.
They're not related at all. They're not even anthology. They just like
Nah,
Oh yeah.
stole the name. It's like a completely different movie.
yeah.
Just like
So funny.
execs are like, let's just say this is a sequel. Some fucking movie shit, dude.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's like Halloween 3.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But
There's
kind of,
just
because Halloween
veered
3 was
off.
made to be like an anthology. No, I think Troll 2 had a different name. And the people were like, we need to sell this movie, so we'll say it's a sequel to this other movie, but it's not a
No
sequel.
way. That's why it's called Troll 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm so
Fucking
excited for that
stupid.
movie.
It's
I
so
have no idea what it's about.
ridiculous.
It's fucking
Oh my
dumb.
goodness.
People-
Nice. Okay.
Decision makers.
Hey, that's marketing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's marketing. I'm sure it got a couple extra people in the seats. We have the woman who's played by Kei Fujiwara. I think she's the girlfriend of the salary
The
man.
salary man. Yeah.
Yeah. We have the woman in glasses who's played by Nabu Kanaoka. The salary man who's played by Tomoto Taguchi, and he's the only one that's been in the following sequels. We have the tramp who's played by Renji Ishibashi, and the doctor who's played by Nomasa Musaka. And that's it. That's the whole cast.
Hell yeah. Small circle.
I heard.
Keep
I
my
guess I
friends
read
close.
that it was like filming this movie was such a pain in the ass that by the end of it, only Taguchi and Tsukamoto were like showing up to the set. Everyone else was like, I'm done with this movie. I'm not coming back to finish this shit.
Damn.
And then there were 2.
I mean, you look at the level of effects that they had to do, and like these guys are like independent, like filmmakers. Like
Mhm.
that had to be like a lot of fucking work.
I wonder if they filmed
Yeah.
it backwards because I feel like as the movie progresses, the level of effects gets way more intense and like more grueling. So I wonder if they did all that with a ton of people and then they filmed the beginning scenes with just a small amount of people.
Oh, interesting. Hmm.
Right?
That probably
Because
would have made it easier.
yeah,
Yeah, for
because if
sure.
not that many people were showing up, I feel like you would want to film the easier scenes with just with a smaller amount of people.
Well, apparently all the house scenes were filmed in Kei Fujiwara's apartment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they used their house a lot, and I guess that caused beef with the neighbors.
Oh, not nice.
But
Makes sense.
I
Trying to
mean,
film a fucking
like this type
Japanese
of movie,
Horror
like
body
this
movie.
horror movie
Yeah.
is
in your
wild.
apartment.
Just people screaming and fucking throwing shit around.
Metallic
Yeah, because
noises
it goes down in the fucking apartment, dude.
goes down in the
Does.
DMs.
All right, let's get into the synopsis, and then we'll start talking about the movie.
Synopsisize it, brother.
All right, Tetsuo, the Iron Man. In the monochrome industrial sprawl of Tokyo, a salaryman lives an unremarkable life with his girlfriend until a hit and run changes everything. After
Spoiler.
striking a man who had been inserting scrap metal into his leg, the couple panics and dumps the body in the woods. But the man they hit, a mysterious metal fetishist, doesn't stay dead for long. Soon after, the salaryman begins noticing disturbing changes. A shard of metal protrudes from his cheek, strange lesions form, and his body begins to transform into a fusion of flesh and metal. These changes escalate rapidly. He loses control of his limbs, drills emerge from his skin, and invasive mechanical mutations consume his sexuality. The overabundance of sex in this movie is not a
Wow.
turn I was prepared for.
But
As
did
his
it turn
body,
you on?
no, it didn't.
Yes.
Didn't. I swore
No.
off porn
For Lent?
for Lent. 40 days and 40 nights. Speaking
That's
of
still going on,
Oppenheimer,
right?
Doing
Josh
reverse
Hart.
Lent. You do Easter to Good Friday instead of Good
Yeah.
Friday to Easter.
Yeah.
Oh shit. As his body warps, so does reality. The salaryman attacks his girlfriend with his drill dick as he is possessed by his new appliance.
Just-
During during the sexual encounter, the salaryman continues to transform, culminating in a duel with his girlfriend who desperately tries to escape this new monstrosity. As the salaryman grips with the murder of his girlfriend and the loosening of his psyche, the metal fetishist reappears, fully reformed as a techno-organic being capable of controlling metal, but follows as a frenetic, screeching descent into chaos as the two beings clash in a psychosexual metal-on-metal confrontation that destroys the boundaries between man and machine. In an apocalyptic climax, the salaryman and the fetishist fuse into a singular monstrosity of iron, wires, and vengeance. They speed off through the city, declaring their intent to reduce the world to rust.
Hell yeah. I like the synopsises that you've been putting together. They've been really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked that you went the dick route and not the dong route. I wasn't ready for the ick.
Like, I'm just gonna put drill dick. I mean, that's what it was. You gotta have drill dick in here.
Yeah. Cannot have a drill dig in there.
I mean, it's a pretty big part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple
Uh.
metal phallic shaped items. They all made us watch a soft core porn.
I know. That shit came out of nowhere.
We talked about it a little earlier about how this movie is like a little lynchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
were you guys able to kind of keep up with the story,
Mhm.
or like were you lost? Because I understood the gist of it, but like there are definitely parts that I'm still pretty confused about.
Uh, I think this movie benefited from a lack of dialogue, and it was easier to follow along through the imagery and not through dialogue.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot that happens and not a lot that's said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
don't
a
know,
lot
I
of
don't-
like facial expressions.
yeah, a lot of pain.
I think there was only one real big piece that I like didn't fully understand, which was the ending when they like fused together. Like why? And we could talk about it when we get to that part of the conversation. But like I feel like everything else is generally pretty well explained. Because there was also not a lot of dialogue in between everything, you know?
I mean, I guess like the metal fetishist was basically like Magneto, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like he can control metal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he fetishized said he fetishized
Fetishized.
fetishizes his did so hard that he became Magneto. Like he put metal in his body, so then he just became metal.
That was crazy. That sequence where he like just slices his leg open and just like
In the
sticks a
beginning,
The
like a
first
whole
fucking
rod.
2 minutes of the
I was
movie.
like, God damn. I was like, that's some pretty good special effects. That looks
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
realistic.
for real.
Yeah, another one of those movies that benefited from being monochrome. It's like
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
have these types of scenes without it looking tacky.
Mhm.
It like looked legit. It looked really good for the type of movie that it was.
Yeah.
If you guys out there listening, be like, what do they mean by monochrome? This movie is in black and white. Because when I read it, I was like, what does monochrome mean again? I was like, oh, yeah, it's in black and white.
Sorry about
Mhm.
No.
Wait,
We use the terminology here. We are fucking professionals, God damn it.
I saw this thing and it was like, why don't we make like better bear canisters that will like prevent bears from opening them? Because right now, like we have the technology, but it's not that good. And the park ranger said because there's an overlap between the smartest bears and the dumbest humans.
Yeah, that's what's hilarious.
Oh my
Monochrome.
goodness, dude. What? That is nice.
I mean, just think
That is
about like
hilarious.
the child locks on like pills. It's like fucking
Yeah, some people get stuck.
stuck. They're like,
Or even worse, the new technology that they put on all edibles. Like, why do they make edible bags so fucking hard to get into? Like my brother in Christ, just let me in. I just want to get faded.
Yeah.
But it's so childproof. It's crazy.
Or just the bags that you get from the shops, the ones that like zip that or I don't know if
I
they
haven't seen
still
those-
do them,
yeah, they don't-
but
they don't do
Jungle
those
Boys
anymore.
used to do it a lot.
Yeah. I remember those.
Those are terrible. I would
Yeah.
just end up cutting them with scissors.
man, I like
I got to get to my shit.
my local
I need
shop
my
just
tools.
staples the bag closed.
Yeah.
Nice and
Yeah,
simple.
they just staple stuff now, or they'll just give it to you in like a bag.
Yeah. It's the products themselves that are now childproof, not
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
Not
not
the
the vehicle that it's transported in.
Yeah.
which makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They wised up.
One thing I did find a little confusing is, well, I guess with his Magneto abilities, like when the dude's on the train,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the lady's like poking at the like weird chunk of like metal and wires on the ground, and then it
Yeah.
like possesses her.
Uh-huh.
But then it would flash back to him, like the metal fetishist, like being somewhere, like surrounded by metal and shit. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, is he like controlling metal? Does he have the ability to like reach throughout like the metal network and like control metal like anywhere in the world? Like, what is happening?
The Metalverse?
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
No, I think he was inside that blob of metal. And then
He was-
that blob went into the woman, and so then he was in the blob in the woman in her.
So that's that. Okay, that was another thing I
Yeah.
thought. I'm like, is he like really tiny now?
Mhm. I think he was
think
really tiny, or it was just the Metalverse where things and size are incomparable to our brains.
Because we find out later in the movie that, well, we see that he got hit by the car.
Yeah.
And then we find out later that like they dumped his body, right? And like they thought he was dead, but like he just like got transferred into like his heaven was the Metalverse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He went to
He
the
went to
metaverse.
the Iron Gates.
The Iron Gates down.
Nice. I like it.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
What I took it as was he was one with the metal. So like he is the metal. Like he's inside the metal. So every time it was showing him in there, it like didn't really matter what size. It was just him being a part of it.
I could see that.
So like when he latched on to the girl, he was now a part of, like you were saying, he was a part of the metal, which is a part of the girl. So he's like, if there's a little part of him, he's like a symbiote. Like if there's just a tiny chunk, he's still in there.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like he just needs to get a little bit on you too, because like what the salary man had like a pimple's worth on his face.
Oh yeah.
And then that just spread and just became like a fucking drill dick. Like just
I thought when he's shaving himself, like a piece of the shaver got stuck in there.
oh, you're
Oh,
right.
was-
That's what
that makes
happened.
sense.
Which is crazy. Like it was an electric shaver, and like one of those little blades just like broke off into his skin.
And he wasn't like yelling in pain. I feel like I would be fucking just like running around bleeding everywhere.
I mean, he popped it. It was like
He did. It looked like a satisfying pop.
It
it
did.
did.
You guys have watched pimple poppers on your feeds on your Instagram or TikTok, whenever you're on?
I don't.
Uh,
the
Those
thing.
crazy ones are just too much for me.
I get them sent to me
Hell yeah. I'll keep sending them.
because
But I do. Talking about the like the woman with the glasses, as she's so elegantly portrayed. I did like that like whole sequence of her like becoming the monstrosity. And I thought the special effects on her hand looked really fucking crazy. And then how she was just like this unrelenting force that was just like chasing this fool like all over the fucking city.
Mhm.
And I laughed out loud when she like fucking karate kicks him like in the restroom.
Yeah.
Just fucks him up. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So do you think the metal fetishist was trying to kill him or he was just fucking with him?
He was trying to fuck with him.
yeah, because I mean he's trying to get
Revenge.
like revenge, right, for killing him.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
will
seemed
be
like.
revenged.
Yeah, for killing him and then having sex
In
over
front,
his dead body.
in front of his dead body.
That was
Like a
wild,
fucking
dude.
maniac. Like
That
who
was
does that?
wild. When they kept flashing to him, like having flashbacks of him like banging his girl like next like up against the tree.
Mhm.
I was like, why do they keep showing this? Like,
Mhm.
why? What does this have to do with the story arc? Yeah, we later find out like they just dump his body and it just like gets his chick all revved up and they just
Yeah.
like start banging. I was like, yo, this girl's freaky, but like, what the fuck?
That was one thing that I did enjoy because I didn't understand in the beginning like why all these scenes were happening. Like there was like random shit. Like you would see a car, you would see them like fucking by some trees, you would see like just movement across the screen. And it isn't until later on in like the third act when things are finally explained and you see the whole story all together. And I was like, oh, all this makes sense now. This wasn't just random shit that we were being shown on the fucking screen. Like everything had a purpose. So
Yeah,
that was one kind of cool thing. I feel like it paid off. It almost felt this movie wasn't a slow burn at all, but,
No.
but to get the main story out, that took basically the whole like 40, like you don't find out until the last like 10 minutes of the movie. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's piece of the story was kind of like a slow burn part. But I mean, this movie pops off like so quickly. I think in the first like 5 minutes, that's when the woman has a thing in her arm and she starts chasing him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next like what 30 minutes of the movie just takes place in the apartment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
one other thing. So when they're in the bathroom, I think the woman he's in the stall and she's like she tries to come from above, and then he runs out, and then I think she kicks him, and then she picks him up by the neck, and then she throws him, and then all of a sudden we're like transported in this like super like vision, like fast mode where he's like moving through the city. Is that to signify that he was running through that time, or did she
Yeah.
kick
Yeah.
him so fast that she just like kicked him through time and space?
He just turned into the fucking Flash and he just went
Yeah.
into the Speed Force. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I,
dude.
I think it was to signify he was running because when it like
Yeah.
slows down, he gets to like looks like an auto body shop and he tries to
his
Yeah.
garage.
like lock himself in there and then like she's like all strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, because at one point in time, the camera is like showing him, and he's like hunched over, and he's like moving his arms, and he's even like
Mm.
Oh
turning
yeah, looking
turning
back.
Yeah,
behind.
you're right. You're right.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of fucking what's that movie? Not Kung Pao, but there was another one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about with
Kung
the
Fu
land
Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. Yeah, with the
Yeah, it
landlord.
reminded me of that movie.
Mm.
The chasing sequences that happened in that movie.
Forgot
The
about
film,
that.
the filming techniques that he used to try and like get certain things across, I thought elevated the story and like added a level of like weirdness to it that I enjoyed.
What do you mean?
So like that instance, and then the instance where like his feet become like rocket feet. So then
Yeah.
like when he's moving around the story, it's just still images of him somewhere else in the city that they just cut together to
Yeah.
make it look like he's moving really fast, but he's not. He's just probably standing in the same pose, just at a different locations, and they just spliced it together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was cool because it's especially with the metal fetishes when they're fighting at the end, and he just
Mhm.
has that smile, and he's just like just squeezing his hand the whole time, and the dude's just flying everywhere, but he's just in different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was effective and actually kind of funny a little bit.
Oh, it was done
Yeah.
really well, and like for being such a low budget film, like those little tricks that they were able to pull, just made the movie that much better. Because in all reality, like all of those fast zooming parts could be like just within, I don't know, maybe like a 3-4 block radius, but it's moving so fast and it has such quick cuts. Like you wouldn't. It makes it seem like they're traveling long distances and further than they actually are, especially when you're on a tight fucking shoestring budget like these guys were.
Yeah.
It was effective.
It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah, it really was. I think like with El Mariachi, I think this movie is like another good example about how just some people just like have a vision and they just come up with creative ways to like execute it in a way that like doesn't take away from the movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean this dude was the editor, he was the fucking director. Well, I think they said I was reading that uh, Kei Fujiwara, the woman who plays his girlfriend, actually was like co-directed, kind of. So she probably took over when he was acting, but like it was like an all hands on deck type of thing, and they made it work. They did some pretty creative shit.
Yeah. I mean, this is his first like feature film, right?
Yeah, because he did a couple of shorts and then he did theater beforehand.
Yeah.
I guess he did a short that was like similar to this one, which inspired him to make this into like a full length feature film.
Nice.
Yeah, I read that the director it didn't get much support from his dad. His dad like kicked him out while he was making this movie.
Damn.
Yeah. Is there was a quote. It was like there's two kinds of people in this world. People who are successful and those who aren't. I don't know. Some type of wise Japanese saying. And he told his son, it's like you're one of the people that's gonna fail, pretty much.
Damn.
Like, bro, yeah, I guess he the director came out with a book about the making of this film, and that he put that quote in that book.
Damn.
So, shout out to dad for inspiring him to keep
pretty
making films.
successful.
Yeah.
This movie has a strong cult following.
Yeah.
But what's with so I know say you said that you think this movie has a lot to do with like our fear of technology from the era. What do you think all the over like 'cause I think the craziest part of this movie was like the crazy like sexualization stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did that have to do with anything?
Honestly, I have zero idea. I just think this dude was really horny. Um, like I couldn't I I don't know. I couldn't think of any like specific reason why. I feel like everything else though was like, to me, again, just my thought, because I didn't like look into this movie any deeper, but I mean, yeah, I feel like it's about like the fear of like technology and like how it's could potentially like take over our lives and all that stuff. I just yeah, I don't know. This dude was just, he just wanted to have a lot of sex.
Was it the dude or was it his chick?
Yeah, his chick seemed like she was real revved up, and it was
She
just
was
like, all right.
revved. She was like, anywhere, anytime, dead body. We just dumped the body. Let's get it on.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he was in the
like
restroom,
the
like freaking out, and the next scene is like he has her bent over and he's just banging her.
yeah, I meant like the writer director of the movie. I think
Oh,
I feel like he was just
Oh,
like a horny guy who wrote these scenes
yeah.
for his own twisted pleasure. I don't really know. Did you guys research anything on it?
I know, like the wiki page, like I glanced over, I forgot what it said, but it said something about like it's like a talking about like masculinity and like in like Japanese culture at the time,
Hmm.
dealing with that aspect and like kind of like the stresses of being like a salaryman and shit.
Mhm.
What does that have to do with him getting pegged by a fucking like a drill strap on?
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
was not something I had on my bingo card.
It
2025. That scene was wild.
was definitely nuts.
yeah. He was, that was a dream though, right? That was
Yeah, that was a
his
dream.
subconscious.
Yeah, I think that was
Maybe deep down inside he wanted to get pegged, but because he was a salary man and he was always working and he was always tired, he could
I
never get
thought
pegged.
I thought it was the dude like the metal fetish is just like violating him and just like drilling his way like into his subconscious and his everything. Cause like it goes from that and then the next thing, I don't know if the metal fetish just does it on purpose because he doesn't show up till after the dude's like killed his girl. But like he grows the drill penis and then he takes over his like drill dick and like makes him fuck his girl with the drill chick with basically kills her. He's trying to not do that, but then like he just loses control at that point because he's super metaled out. So I wondered if it was just him using that as a revenge since they fucked on his body.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It's like a payback, like a final like fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird because he had that dream about the pegging, and then he woke up next to his girl, and then they fucked,
Mm-hmm. For a while too.
and then he started transforming.
Yeah, because like they're getting into it, and then like he kind of like loses interest, and then like he goes to the restroom, and his girl's like, "Hey, like what's up? Like you're good?" He's like, "I'm fine."
Yeah,
Then he comes back, and they start doing it again. He grows the drill dick, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then like he's trying to hide away from it, and she's like, "No, no, like I can handle it. I can handle it. Like whatever you are, like I can handle it." And she opens the door, and he looks like he's super transformed by this point.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's she's like all like, whoa, like she's freaking out because he looks fucking crazy. And yeah, then he's like, what is he's like, he's like, what do oh, I wrote it down. He says, you want a taste of my sewage pipe?
I like the battle that she puts up. So
Dude,
she puts up a fight.
she fucks him up.
Yeah.
She fucking
I
stabs that fool in the throat.
I was actually expecting her to like live, but
He's like
yeah.
immortal now.
Hmm.
Because I don't remember how did he beat the lady in glasses?
He didn't.
Does
I
he?
think she just opened the garage, and then he did he wake up?
Don't remember how he beats her.
Because she catches up to him after he gets into the garage.
Yeah,
She just
yeah.
opens it up. I don't know if it cuts. She enters him.
Doesn't say on the wiki. I'm trying to find on the IMDb.
I don't remember. But it seems like once he's like super transformed, he's pretty like impervious to getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Because like even like after he gets stabbed in the throat, remember like he has like a chunk of skin that's hanging off like with the piece of metal, and he's like messing with it, kind of being like, "Oh, why not I dead?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he does seems like he dies for a second after he gets stabbed, and he's kind of laying there, and he like comes back to, and he's like, "Oh shit."
It says the businessman flees in terror to a toilet, briefly able to escape by stabbing the woman with a pen, and then running and hiding in a workshop. But she finds him, but he's able to defeat her with his growing metal powers.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't he turn her to like rust? Does he like melt her?
Yeah, I think she does end up melting.
Because that's something. Yeah, because he does that to his girlfriend. Because then she comes back as like a metal person when he puts her in the bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a little
Oh
duel.
yeah.
And then he ends up. I'm guessing that like that turns him to rust or whatever.
I guess so.
Because it seems like the only way to defeat the metal people.
To rust him.
So rust
Yeah.
him.
I mean, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I remember that fucking part?
So much happens, and I feel like
A lot does happen.
that part is like kind of like a normal-ish like monster movie scene, and then like the whole apartment scene is just like bananas.
Yeah.
And then when the metal fetishist shows up and they have like their fucking monster battle, like two metal dudes like going head to head and throughout the city, like that shit was crazy too.
Like
Yeah.
straight out of a fucking manga.
Dude, for real, like he's so fucking like huge with so much metal. Like it looked cool. I gotta admit, like the special effects are dope.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There was one point in time where he had like a Dark Souls helmet on.
yeah,
I was like,
Mhm.
damn, this
Mhm.
dude is full fucking animate out. He's like a fucking kaiju.
just getting flinged everywhere.
This movie goes places. It was an interesting watch, to say the least. Had a lot of themes.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. They pack a lot in for a 1 hour film. It's kind of a lot. Like the whole last battle was like 15 minutes. They just fight for like 15 straight minutes, it feels like. And then they become best buddies.
They do. I don't think he was trying to become best buddies, but they end
Yeah.
up becoming best buddies.
I don't think it was a choice they both willingly made. I think
Yeah.
Magneto was just like, or no.
Powerful.
Was it Magneto that fused, or
I don't know, because aren't they like holding hands, like looking at each other? And then they get fused together?
But I thought
Like they go into like the
metal-
metal world and then they fuse?
I thought that was because of the metal fetishist like powers, and he was like, we'll combine and we'll become like one and take over the world or something like that. Like if we work together, we'll take over the world.
And then the guy's like, fuck it. Like he's like, I'm down, basically. Like he just loses himself. He gets
Yeah.
the shorter end of the deal. He looks way more fucked up than the metal fetishist. So he's like just like a talking head attached to like the stomach area.
For real.
Yeah, what a fucked up position. And then the fucking fetish dude gets to have a Uzi, like,
Yeah.
and be on top. Like he's fucking like one of those statues that, like Paul Revere riding a horse.
It's kind of what he looked like. That must have been like crazy to see when they filmed like that final.
Dude, right? Because they had to have gone through like some sort of town.
Apparently, I read that like they couldn't afford to take the like prosthetics off. So when they were going from scene to scene, that dude would just have to be dressed like that, going everywhere.
Nah.
So people would be
Christ.
looking like, yo, what the fuck is going on with these people?
Oh shit. That's funny.
And I just kept everything on with like double-sided tape. The dude said like his skin started to become like leathery from just like having
Oh,
double-sided tape on him the whole time.
It's that movie magic.
It's like, that's crazy. I mean, I will, for this being like his first ever movie and like no real probably experience with like special effects, the special effects, crazy good.
hmm
They were solid. They were there, yeah. Especially
They still kind of hold up today in 2025.
I think they hold up because it's black and white.
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel
But it
like
helps. Like it was
it helps.
believable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it definitely helps. But I think if we were to
See it in color.
see it in color, it probably wouldn't look as good. But I think that's why Eraserhead kind of looked like relatively good because it was also in black and white. So like black and white movies like hold up pretty well generally. I mean, besides the
They could
baby.
hide a lot of defaults, huh? A lot
Yeah.
of faults.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought, like, even when he was still going through his transformation and shit, like his face was like all chunked out, like I thought all that looked really good too. I was like, oh man, this looks like pretty believable.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at it, metal is fucking gray. So like
That's
if
true.
you make the whole movie fucking black and white, you don't have to really put too much detail in like the metal itself. You could just have random fucking cardboard painted a certain color and it look like metal.
That's true. I heard that the director said he did it that way to like try and confuse the audience so they would wonder, like, not know what's metal and what's not.
I wasn't too confused in that aspect. I felt like I knew what was metal.
I mean, it felt like everything. So much
Yeah.
metal everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially at the end.
This dude was just like living in like this fucking city of industry. There's just fucking factories all over the place.
He's living in the same town that fucking Eraserhead was in.
No shit, huh? Just like the dilapidated town.
Yeah.
Where would you put this movie then? If we compared it to an Eraserhead, where do you put it on the if you had to rate it, scale it in the body horror genre?
In between what?
Like between like Lynch, got Cronenberg.
Mm,
Who's the other big one? I guess you could say John
James
Carpenter.
Wan.
James Wan, yeah. Eli Roth. Like, where would you put it up there with those types of like?
I feel like it's hard because at least for me, I've only seen one movie of his, whereas like some of the other people like Cronenberg, I've seen multiple. James Wan, I've seen multiple. So like there's more material to kind of analyze. But I feel like especially for what they had and what they had to work with, you can put them up like I don't know how long the list is. Do I say top 5? I feel like he's up there. He deserves that for this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Like, I think what they did in this movie, although I didn't like this movie as much as I liked like Eraserhead, I thought like their use of like special effects and like the body horror was better in this movie. I was like, when watching it, I was like, man, this dude was like fucking. This is like some Cronenberg level skill that this dude put up for being like just some dude on a shoestring budget doing it for the first time. Like I can see
Yeah.
why it carries the reputation it has because like Cronenberg's Cronenberg, you know what I mean? Like he has money, millions of dollars to make a film. This dude did it with like 100 grand.
Right.
It's like super crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean, this movie came out in what 1980
89.
89. That first scene, like that first scene within the first 2 minutes when he's putting that metal rod into his leg, like that scene alone is enough for me to, put this guy up there with, some of the more known body horror directors. Just because it looks so real. It had such a real look. I believe that a metal rod was going into this dude's leg. Like I felt it.
That whole scene like just gives you the chills. Like him starting off like running the rod over his teeth
Mhm.
and then like
Oh.
inserting it in his leg. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like that whole shit just gave me the willies.
Yeah, this movie does a really good job in using the audio to kind of make you feel weird too, because that little part before he was transforming into his drill dick, they were eating and every time the girlfriend would take a bite, it was
that's
just like
right.
nails on a chalkboard. Like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Mhm.
That's right. That's what happened after. I was like, they stop having sex and something else happens. That's why he makes her food
Yeah, yeah.
and he starts
He's
feeding
like
her.
scratching the pan too. Like everything is just like a sensory nightmare in this movie.
Right. And like he's just getting off on her, like chewing on the on the
Sausage.
fork.
Yeah.
No,
Or,
'cause
it's-
when she
it's-
licks the sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like she licks the fork or like puts it between her teeth and he's just like, oh. But then to us, the audience are like, oh my God, like please stop doing this.
Yeah.
Did that mean that he also became a metal fetishist?
I think so. I think he got
Yeah.
transformed or like he liked it.
Damn. Sometimes you just got to try things and then you end up liking them.
He just gets
Like
transformed.
a Cenobite.
That's what it kind of felt like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He became like a masochist but from metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Thank you.
Odd theme.
The theme's interesting. I still don't like completely understand like the meaning behind it. I know vaguely the like being a salary man in Japan is like a pretty like it's pretty rough,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but I don't understand necessarily what he was trying to say about that with the use of all these visuals and like I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Tough to say. Honestly.
That's what I was thinking of when I was talking about the filming. He used a lot of stop motion.
Oh yeah. That's
Mhm.
right. There was a lot of some of the like the in between scenes, like the bridge scenes where like just these wires, these metal wires just like engulfing things. Like there was one point I think it like engulfed a skull or like something
Oh,
turned into
yeah,
a human
that's right.
skull. Yeah, very, very dreamlike sequences with
There's
with
a
the
few
stop
'cause
motion.
doesn't he have a nightmare and he's like in like a desolate wasteland where it's just like metal everywhere?
I think he says like, let me show you the future or something like that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's yeah.
Like that's the future that
Oh, that's when
that
they
the
right
Iron
before
Man
they
wants to
feed,
make.
right?
Yeah.
And then they like
Mhm.
hold hands.
Mhm.
They're like
Fusion. Huh.
That's what I put in my notes.
You did that too?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I would like to see like an anime version of this movie. I'd like to see like an
cool.
expanded
Iron Man.
yeah, like Tetsuo the Iron Man. Like I don't know if the sequels are like a direct sequel and it picks up like right after this happens, or it's just like a similar theme or just deals with someone getting engulfed with iron but a different character. But I would like to see like it's just such a crazy thought. It kind of reminded me a little bit when he was becoming the monstrosity of Akira when he transforms at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just like that idea. Like, okay, so this is like another like apocalyptic world that's about to happen because of this, like kind of like the Blob.
mhm.
Yeah.
It'd have been cooler to see like what happened,
Yeah.
like an extended universe or even like a comic book on it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
It definitely felt almost like and I feel like I'm just saying that, but that's the only point of reference that I have because I don't really know too many like horror animes, but Uzumaki, like in the sense that like it's like weird body horror like type stuff that I thought that this was also like a manga before. Because I could definitely see it. It feels like it's almost in that like same realm.
Yeah. What was so this was not a manga?
No,
Is there a manga for this? No.
I don't know. Let me see.
Find out.
Look that up.
Jamie, look it up. Tetsuo the Iron Man manga.
Doesn't look like it.
Tetsuo the Bullet Man is the most popular manga.
That's number 3. That's the third one.
Maybe only the third one then is a manga.
No manga. He just
Is Tetsuo the Iron Man
he just wrote it. He just
a manga?
came up with it.
Damn.
Nice.
Original
hardcore.
story. Yeah. I agree though. I would definitely like to see this world kind of expanded upon.
Yeah, I feel like it could the lore around it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like how did the metal fetishist like he just got so in tune with metal that it just became fucking Magneto for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
Poor
And
cat.
I the cat?
Yeah, poor cat.
Yeah, dude, the
Oh, that's
fucking
right.
cat. Why are they always committing animal murder, man? But
Forgot about the cat.
When that happened, though, I thought of the thing that you had said before, like that signifies like true evil,
Yeah.
because it's the metal fetishist that kills the cat.
Mhm.
And so that now clicks in my brain, like, oh, this guy is a really, really bad guy. Even though I knew he was a bad guy, but he was really bad after he fucking melted that cat. Cat
Yeah.
didn't have to go like that, man. The cat was screaming. It was so bad.
Yeah, that was fucked. And I do love that the movie ends like kind of on a bad note. Like it's not a happy ending.
It's not. Yeah.
Like he gets his
World
revenge,
ending.
and then he's like, "Now we're gonna conquer the world."
Yeah. Yeah, he came out on top in the end.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Literally.
Is the final fusion of the two men a resolution, an apocalypse, or a new beginning?
And a
Porque no los tres.
I mean, it's a new beginning for them.
And it's an apocalypse for
It's
everyone else.
For us.
It's also a resolution to their battle.
Yeah, because he came out on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did get his revenge. I mean, deservedly so. Like what they did was fucked up. Like they just killed this dude, and then
Yeah.
And then hit six on his, in front of his corpse.
like,
Like
They
a bunch
fucking,
of
I know what you did last summer. Then
Yeah.
dude,
It was
what?
crazy.
Dude, a lot of crazy shit happens. Like the tramp, like the homeless dude who just starts like beating on their like
Beating on 'em?
subconscious. Like, what
Mhm.
was that all about?
oh yeah.
You ever just
That shit, that and the doctor on the TV screen was like mad Lynch. Or the whole randomly cut to like, was it like a lady screaming or like laughing like on the TV? Like we just randomly cut to that sometimes. And I
Yeah.
was like, yo, what does this like imagery have to like do with anything?
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, who is this homeless dude? Why was he beating on him? Why did it like cause him so much pain? It was like the only time the fetishist ever got fucked up in that whole fight. Just some third party shows up and just starts beating on him.
The power of people experiencing homelessness, dude.
I guess.
The
Yes.
power,
It's like the fucking the
the
strength
power
of,
that they wield.
of fucking Skid Row just came out. They're just like around so much rust. They're just like just like naturally immune to tetanus. They're just
Impervious to it.
Metal's worst nightmare: the homeless.
homeless.
I mean,
Pushing on all those shopping carts,
They-
bulked up.
I was gonna say they have to transport things all the time, so they're used to being around metal.
Yeah. Those fucking metal drums they use for warmth.
Oh shit! So you have to worry about microplastics. They got micro metals.
Oh, the metal poles for their tents.
How did we get here?
Oh my god!
Metal fetish.
Oh,
Metal fetish.
that's
Because Dale was a
that's-
horny bastard. He wanted to
that's
put this
funny.
on the list.
That's what
I
it
did
boils
not.
down to.
I did not expect
I'm always
The-
gonna remember you as this,
the
Dale.
you
mad
wanna-
sexualness of this movie. It was
You made us watch a softcore porn.
Mhm.
crazy. It was more like
It was like half the movie.
what's that time? Dude, apparently he edited the sex scene was longer. He like cut it down.
Damn. This is like a fucking, what's his name that we saw that was a porno director?
Oh,
Oh, Ice Cream Man.
yeah.
Ice Cream Man. Yeah. But except
Apparently
he,
the original cut was 77 minutes and he cut it down. He cut down the sex scene and then I guess the scene where they kill the doctor and got it down to an hour and 6.
Damn. I would have added more sex, but less drill dick.
more
Well, that
sex,
part-
less drill.
Yeah.
That part was insane. I can't get over it.
The
Yeah.
the murder with the drill was pretty bad.
I can't believe that's not like brought up more in like
No one wants
Like,
to talk
on
about that.
lists
Dude.
and shit because
Weird.
it's so wild.
It's fucking weird. This
So
movie was
wild.
weird.
All right. Well, I don't have any other points on the movie that I wanted to touch on. Was there anything else that stood out to you guys that we didn't get into? Do you think this movie holds up still? Or does it even hold up at all? Like I think it's aged very well.
Yeah, I feel like
Content excluded.
You mean just like the visually it aged well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
Content. I don't know. I mean, I guess like there are horny people in all ages.
But
So
I don't think this movie like was like there was sex in it, but nothing about it was like sexual. Like none of this is like a turn. I mean, I guess it would be a turn on to some people,
hey man,
but
you're not a
like
metal fetishist. We don't kink shame on
the
this
way
pod,
sex
okay?
is used in such like a violent, like
Violent way.
animalistic way.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. It was violent and animalistic. It was something else, something
Yeah.
to behold, something that you need to see to believe.
Mm.
So I would definitely recommend this movie.
I would say that the recommend this movie. Show your mom, show your dad, show your grandma. Um,
That feels like a good
spectacle.
segue to get into our reviews.
I would say that the like overall like I don't again this is me just pulling shit from what I've seen. I think that like the fear of like tech and like where we're gonna go and like industry like booming into this whole new thing. I think that that's like a pretty good message that's has withstood the test of time. I agree. I think that piece specifically, just that. I think visually, yeah, it does look good too because it's in black and white. But everything else was kind of I don't know. Also, I don't know. Maybe it was just a me thing because I feel like we saw some like pretty good Japanese movies. This one felt a little bit just weirder. It was just a weird movie, like overall. You know, when you just see a weird movie and people doing weird things and you just get the weird vibe. This one
Yeah,
just gave me a weird vibe.
yeah.
Like it like made me feel actually weird watching.
Is it similar to how Eraserhead made you feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's actually really good. I couldn't pinpoint it until you said that. Thank you. Yeah.
After it ended, I like sat down and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, okay. Like
Moment
I
of
wasn't
reflection.
like
I had to text you guys.
I
Like
wasn't confused like I was after Razorhead being like, okay,
Yeah,
that was a weird movie. Like what was going on in that? It was more like damn, that place like that movie like attacked the senses.
yeah.
yeah. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, it's a fucking sensory nightmare, dude.
It
Yo,
was
It was.
was
I had to
I
text the group like I just texted the name of the movie and I like that both of you guys responded with the name back. Like we all just understood what the hell I just said to everyone.
yeah. I think this movie it like I don't know if it was the first body horror movie, but I personally can't think of any movie that predates this movie that's like in that same category of body horror. Um, I don't know if it was like the turning point in movies and like people started drawing inspiration and started getting more into body horror.
well, this movie's credited of starting like the like kind of hyper violent horror films in Japan.
Oh,
But I
Okay.
think in America we had already been doing it with like The Fly and like Cronenberg shit.
haha, get good.
Well, Fly, the colored one.
Yeah, the colored one.
Well, that came out after this, no?
I thought the movie came out in 1986.
What about the blob?
Damn, was it 86?
The remake of The Blob, I think, came out in like The Fly. Yeah, 1986.
No,
Oh,
the OG
shit.
blob.
The first Blob was in like
50s, yeah?
1956.
Yeah.
The Blob.
58.
1958.
Was that
And
one
then
body
the-
horror though? The 1956 one?
Well, things
I
get
feel like-
blobbed into. I don't know why I did it like that.
The remake was for sure body horror. That
Yeah.
one was crazy.
Oh, and then Videodrome came out in 1983.
Oh shit. Well then, damn.
We gotta
It
watch
was it was a
Videodrome.
good
I've never seen it.
Haven't either.
it's a good Japanese body horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with body horror films like outside of I think The Fly and I think like aspects of other movies. Like The Thing has some body horror to it.
Yeah.
What's the Arnold Schwarzenegger one when he's on Mars?
Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. I feel like has some body horror in it. Like I've seen aspects of it in other movies, but not to the extent that this movie does it. So it was interesting.
Hell yeah, it was.
On that note, should we get into our reviews?
Run it.
All right. So this movie has an 82% on Rotten Tomato and a 6.9 on IMDb. I'll go first since I put this movie on the list, which is a rare horror edition for me because I'm not really much of a horror guy. But this Tetsuo the Iron Man, it was an interesting movie. I think I'd give it a B minus. I think the movie does, from a movie making standpoint, does so much right that I found was like very, very impressive. I thought the special effects were great. The choice to go black and white or monochrome really added, I think, to the movie's like creepiness. The use of sound and the music in this movie. We touched on the sound, not so much the music, but I think did a great job of kind of elevating the crazy shit that was going on scene by scene and kind of like we said earlier, just like attacking all the senses while you're visually seeing like this shit that you're just trying to like figure out like what the fuck is going on. The over sexualization of this movie was not something like I was super into. That's why I gave it the B minus and not like a full B plus. It was a little out there, man. Like, I mean, I don't understand what it had to do with the overall plot of the movie, if I'm being completely honest, other than to just like straight up shock and awe. I felt like a little bit. Felt like one of those scenes that you'll see like craziest scenes you from a foreign film ever, like in a top 10 list, and it's just this dude with like a drill dick, and you're like, whoa, what movie's that? But I think especially for this being a director's like debut, I thought he did a good job, especially with such a limited budget. I think the movie holds up very well. I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend this people to anybody who doesn't already like this style of horror movie. Like I feel like even if you like horror movies, but you're more into like your more like traditional horror movies that you think like The Exorcist or like Michael Myers movies, you know, slasher films, stuff like that. This movie's not like that at all. This movie's like very different. So if you're not really into body horror and you don't like seeing like kind of disturbing shit, maybe don't watch it. But if you're interested in seeing really good independent filmmaking, uh, from another country, I think you got to check this out. Because the it's just like a movie you have to see to like really understand the insanity that is this movie. I feel like it's up there with Lynch and how crazy this movie is. So yeah, B minus. Time to
Nice.
recommend. All right. Twan, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I was kind of teetering on like the B minus C plus grade, but I'm gonna follow in your footsteps and go B minus because I did enjoy this movie. I said it earlier. This movie definitely benefited from not being so dialogue heavy. It was a visual spectacle to say the least. And it just, I'm a big advocate for movies that make you feel some type of way, whatever that feeling may be. If it's able to pull that emotion out of you, that's a solid movie in my eyes. And this movie does that. Is it emotion? And is it an emotion that like you want to feel? Maybe not, but yeah, the best way to describe it is like the sounds that come out of this movie is like nails on a chalkboard. It's like a visual representation of nails on a chalkboard. Also with the sound of nails on a chalkboard. So it's just you're getting attacked on all ends, even up your booty hole.
Wild.
It's just some of the themes in this movie are a little out there. Like you said, it's very, very sex heavy. Yeah, this movie might have been able to go without it, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't have had that same uh intense emotion behind it. Like it was just weird to watch and weird to witness and felt like something that you would find on like the dark web. But yeah, this movie for a body horror movie, it was solid. The practical effects were really good. It definitely benefited from being monochrome, and yeah, it just has a lot going for it. The sound, the acting, I guess the visuals, the practical effects, the stop motion. You know, it even turns into like this crazy superhero fucking manga battle at the end, which just nuts. I mean, for being an hour and 7 minutes, so much is packed into this movie, and it was a watch. It was a ride that we all got on, and yeah, B minus. I would recommend this movie to anyone that maybe wants to, anyone that likes body horror, watch it. If you like Japanese horror, watch it. If you don't. B minus.
Oh yeah. All right, Saya, finish this off.
Bring us home.
Finish us
All right, let me finish you guys real quick.
to completion.
This movie made me feel weird. And as you guys know, I'm a dirty slut for weird feelings. So I give this movie a B. I think when I think of like B horror, this is in the category of like B horror. Even though like Dale said that it activated like really violent horror movies in Japan, maybe it could hold like a little bit like higher rating. But for me, and I think just I'm basing this again based off of like everything that we've seen, I really think that this is like a pretty solid B horror movie. It's weird. The music is weird. There's like so much visuals that are weird. Like it was just overall like a really wild experience to see, especially going into it not knowing what the fuck was happening. Like I think we said that we're not doing trailers anymore. So like I'm really like not looking at trailers. I'm not reading any synopsises. I'm not like doing anything like that. I'm literally just going in blind. And this was such a fucking movie to go into blind. I was actually surprised. And in the end of it, I was actually surprised that I liked it as much as I did. Just because, yeah, man, it's definitely an experience. It's a little hard to describe, and I bet as you listener are listening to us talk about it, you probably get an idea of what it's like. But it's such a visual movie. Like there's dialogue in it, but I feel like the dialogue is maybe like 15 minutes, and the movie's like an hour and 7 minutes. So all the rest of that time you get visuals and sounds that just throw you into this weird twisted fucking metal creepy world that is just kind of thrusted upon this like dude who just wanted to get some roadhead and then accidentally like dominates a guy. And you know it's definitely it's an intense ride. Would I recommend this? Tentative, like Dale said, tentative recommend. You got to be in the horror, and you got to be into body horror, and you got to be cool with some like sexual activities that are in this movie that get pretty violent at some points in time. So it's not going to be for everyone. Probably don't show it to your children. Maybe show it to grandma or grandpa if they're cool with that. Maybe throw it on like at a party, but the party has to have like adults that also like body horror. This isn't going to be for everybody, but this is a solid B horror movie for the B horror movie podcast, coming at you live. It's Saya.
Hell yeah. So we got a B from Saya, a B minus from Twan, and a B minus from myself. Yeah, guys, this is a weird one. It's one of the more unique movies I think we got so far. Definitely,
Yeah.
I think like foreign movies are very different from the way they make movies in the States. It's a good example.
I also think that this movie was so unique in that a lot of Japanese horror movies that are popular get remade into American horror movies. This one has not had any type of remake whatsoever. Like American audiences saw this and they were like, Japan can keep that. Like you guys are cool with this one. Let's do these other ones. So that's how like niche this film really is.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Look it
let's spin it up. What's everyone thinking this week? How many Japan things do we have left on here?
No more Japan, please.
Don't want to stay in Japan.
There's a few on here.
I'm just playing.
A few.
Actually, yeah, I do want to stay in Japan. Let's get Ringu or Juon. Let's fuck it. We're just going Japan for the rest of the year.
we've been watching a lot of like horror movies. I want like something a little different.
A drama would be nice.
Drama would be cool. Something funny would be nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like the scales have been. It was like for a while it was a little more even on the horror to not horror ratio.
Mhm.
But I feel like the scales have been tipped towards there being more horror on here recently.
Yeah.
Ed Wood would be nice, actually. Ed Wood would be cool. Actually, now I'm gonna start asking for Ed Wood since we got Plan 9. Ed Wood, that's what I want.
Speak it into existence, brother.
What about you, Twan?
Going back to my roots. Going to Roar.
Roar. So Roar, Ed Wood for me, and you wanna stay in Japan, sir?
Yeah.
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 Let's see what we get. We're gonna like an animated film watch.
Ju-on.
Ju-on. It would be funny if it was another Japanese movie. It would
I
be
just saw
pretty
Ju-on.
funny.
I don't think we're gonna get it.
Ed Wood? Oh, we're gonna pass it. No way, freaky.
No, we're not. It's gonna be Ed Wood.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude.
No, City of God.
City
of
God.
God.
Freaky Tales.
City of God.
City of God.
I routed it correctly, but it's
It's
City
crazy.
of God.
City. It's
God.
crazy that Freaky Tales was right there, and we were just
I
talking about
know,
it
dude. That would have been hilarious.
Dude, freaky. Look at the last three: Ed Wood, Perfect Blue, which we would have stayed in Japan,
today. Mhm.
and then fucking Freaky Tales.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Is this the
Yeah,
Brazilian like crime one, like about
Yeah.
like, kids? Damn, this movie's fucked up. I remember this movie.
Yeah, this movie is fucked up. It's a good movie though.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's considered to be like one of the all-time great foreign films.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a good movie.
And this
It's
one's
just-
gonna be. Looks like it's a tough watch. Very heavy themes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's a heavy movie.
Yeah,
Dude. It's a
that's-
heavy ass
yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
movie.
when I said
I've
it's
never
fucked up, like it's
yeah.
like it's fucked up. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Some shit pops off in this movie.
Strap in.
Oh, drama. Let's get it.
This is a drama.
Hey, brothers. This is
This
a drama. We
drama.
did it. We did it, Joe.
All right, guys. So the wheel has decided we are continuing our international journey. This time we're taking a plane over to Brazil and we're
Brazil.
watching
World tour.
2002's City of God.
Mr. Worldwide.
Me and Saya have seen this movie. It'll be a first watch for Twan. This is widely considered one of the best foreign films of all time. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the three of us covering it. This movie's very heavy, does some pretty heavy themes, but it's considered a masterpiece by a lot of people. So it should be a good watch. But thank you guys for joining us this week as we covered 1989's Tetsuo the Iron Man. Got a B from Saya, a B- from myself, and a B- from Twan. But a tentative recommend if you guys are into this type of movies, because this movie is kind of a lot. If you guys haven't done so already, give us a follow on our social medias. We are on Instagram, TikTok, X/Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, and sometimes on Twitch. As always, I have been your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Arigato gozaimasu, Japan.
and Twan.
Sayonara.
See you guys next week. Bye.